All right, so we have seen another movie this year before the end of the year. It is the Fantastic Beasts
Crimes of Grindelwald.
second one, which they don't ever put part twos in most movies
Mm.
anymore. Although Deadpool 2 had two in it, I guess.
And the Lego movie's gonna have. But that's a joke, though.
Yeah, the second one.
Mm.
So, what was our thoughts on this one?
I definitely liked it a whole lot better than the first one. I mean, the first time when I first saw it, I didn't care for it at all, as I told you before. And
Yeah.
But then when I watched it again with you, when you watched it the first time, I was like, okay, gave it a better chance this time. I don't know why I liked it better than the second time I saw it. But yeah.
Yeah, I just watched the first one like the day before because I just never got a chance to watch it, and so I watched it. I liked it. It was good. Definitely was better than I thought it was going to be because, you know,
Because I painted a very ugly picture
I was
to
going to be
him.
worse. But this one was good. I enjoyed it. The beast aspect of it seemed to kind of decrease even more than the first one did, though. But
Yeah.
I kind of expected that with this movie because I think they kind of just moved on from the beast aspect of it and just kind of, we're developing the rest of the sort of plot lines that kind of came up from it.
Yeah.
And the one thing about this movie that I've heard a lot of, I don't know that I've heard from a lot of sources, but I have heard that this movie was not as good as the first, or that this movie's not very good, something like that. Although I have heard at least one person who read the screenplay, and they said it was definitely an excellent, the book format of it. So
we got that at the library.
So I got one at least positive review that I remember for it. The one thing I say, it's a it's a it's the second movie in what's probably going to be a trilogy. There's definitely another movie, but it just feels like it's kind of like when you do Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. It's a transitional movie. It's not going to be over yet, so you just enjoy the fact that it's just kind of building something towards another movie. Because what happened, one of the things that really happens in the movie is you kind of get a sense that Grindelwald, played by Johnny Depp, is you're trying to develop. Since in the first movie he had you didn't know a whole lot about him because he just kind of
just
popped up
briefly
at the end.
mentioned, and then that was it.
So it's like in this movie, it's really trying to build up what he is as a character, how bad or clever, or just try to make him look like something that's formidable, something that you really got to see how they beat him in the next movie. So that's kind of the whole purpose of this, is to transition into that, and I thought they did a real good job with that. Definitely didn't go in the direction that I thought it was with. I mean, ultimately, I did see how it was ending because there was a lot of different plot points going on, tied together rather nicely, though. So I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I'm getting to really like Eddie Redmayne too, and his character that he plays as Scamander. That whole, in fact, the one whole flashback part where it was the young Newt and the
young Lita Lestrange.
Yeah, Lestrange girl. That was really good moment in it. But I could, the more that the movie kind of got into it, I could really see a sort of building of something that I really didn't see as much in the first one. In the first one, they just kind of were doing something that had some vague connection to the Harry Potter series. But this one, you really, I think, felt like this is the Harry Potter world. I mean, this is directly connected to it. Obviously, you have some characters that have connections to the Harry Potter universe in this one. And I wasn't too sure what to make of the idea of Jude Law playing Dumbledore, but I'm kind of warming to that idea. I think he's
decent job with it.
I do like his. I like seeing the young Dumbledore though, particularly in that, because you kind of see how he acts, because you always see the old, the wiser, the one that's always stepping ahead of the game, and now you kind of see him where he's in the process of kind of developing this sort of reputation that he has. So I think that's really fascinating about it. I definitely would look forward to seeing the next one in that regard. Moments. There was one moment in it where Johnny Depp makes a comment as he's leaving the last time in that.
Where he's leaving the last time, where he makes that comment.
Yeah, he says, "I hate
I
Paris,"
hate Paris,
which is so funny because where's he spend all his time? It's in Paris, right? So
yeah.
that was pretty funny, actually. There was some moments like that. I like the little cat toy that they.
Yeah, they got one of the monsters to kind of be mesmerized by it. That was
I'm
cute.
like, oh, he's like a kitty. He's like, oh.
They all are.
That's pretty funny too. Is there anything that stood out? Other things?
Just a really dramatic moment near the end there, where Queenie goes with Grindelwald, and Jacob's begging her not to go, but she wants to go. It was just sort of like, and then it was just, I really liked that moment just because of how dramatic they made it with the music and everything. I was just like, wow, this is really good. This is really deep here.
Yeah, that whole moment there where he's making that speech, I sensed that there was a real whole setup then at that point. Like, this was a build-up, and this was going to be his moment now to really shine. And I was like, okay, this is and so I started really enjoying that moment. Not a whole lot I think that I have other to say about it. It's the good effects, good score. That was all good in the movie as well.
I think the only real problem that I had with it was that when I forgot her name now, but the one that Newt really likes, the lady.
Yeah.
When she went into that little barrier into the wizarding world in Paris, they had a freak show.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. I'm like, seriously, the wizarding world has a freak show?
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, because, I mean, they're just seeing their own kind doing what they normally do.
Yeah.
It's just so weird.
I didn't quite understand that too much either, because it was this sense of, like, they're in this other area where only the magical stuff can happen, but yet they're performing. Like, but I guess even wizards need to be entertained in
I mean,
those
I
facets.
get that with the outside part, what they were doing on the outside, but on the inside, it's just, okay, sure, maybe nobody had heard of what she could do, but it's just kind of weird to me that the magic people find this entertaining, what they would find normal for them in their world. And it's just weird.
Well, real quick, a couple of connections that I thought about was interesting.
Yeah, we probably should end it soon.
Yeah, that's fine. Number one, the girl who can change into a snake. I'm wondering if that has any connections whatsoever to the snake that Voldemort has.
Well, that's what I'm thinking too.
I'm just curious about that, if that plays anything. Also, I'm interested in seeing whether or not the Sorcerer's Stone plays eventually in here, because, Newt Scamander's the one that gets involved with that. So, but other than that, that's another time, another place. So, we will see. This might be the last one for the year. If it is, we'll see you next year. Bye-bye.
Bye.